Right gang, welcome to another Autodesk Inventor video. What we're going to look at today is how to use the mirror tool. It was easy for me to say. So we're going to be using this tool up in the top corner here, mirror. So if you hover over it, it tells you what it does. So I'm going to use this as an example. As you can see, I've got 4 holes in each corner and some fillets. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop over to this previously a bit further back into the model here on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replicate that hole and that fillet along an axis using this mirror command. Okay, so to do that, what I need to do is I need to switch the origin planes on. Now there's a couple of different ways you can go around getting these origin planes on, and there's another example which we'll move on to later to show you a little bit a different technique. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the central axis on here. So you drop the origin tab down and then you find the central axis. In this case we're looking for the YZ. I'm going to go in there. Okay, so there's the various advantages of using that mirror command. The main one being is that if I want 4 holes on this material, or 4 fillets, or 4 whatever features you decide to mirror, then I'm only using one sketch. So if I edit that sketch, then it'll automatically update all my holes, and we'll maybe have a little look at that later. So first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come up after I've got these origin axes on, and again you can go back in and switch them off later if it's getting a bit confusing. I'm going to select the mirror command. Okay, I'm going to select the features that I want to do a mirror of, and it's a little bit tricky sometimes. My mouse is playing up at the moment, but you should be alright. I'm going to select that as well, because I want to mirror both of those features. So if I want to mirror just the hole, I'll just select the hole. If I want to do the fillet, I'll just do the fillet. So I've selected those, I've highlighted those features, and I'm going to go into mirror plane. So I was going to select that tab, and I'm going to come here, and I'll move it a bit so we can see it arrive in. I select that axis, and as you can see, it's got those little green lines there that show me where that's going to go. So I'm going to OK that. Alright, now on my other example I've got the same thing, but I've got the holes on the opposite side, so I'm just going to use that same command again. Okay, so I'm going to mirror these features, so I'm going to do that one, and I'm going to do the same on the bottom. So I'll do the hole, and it's automatically picked up that fillet for me, and I'll do mirror plane. I'm going to choose this axis this time, and I'm going to OK that. There we go. Now, if it's getting a bit confusing, you've got lines all over the place, you can go back into your origin and switch those off. So that's how we use the mirror command. Alright, now luckily enough for us, we've already modelled this using these planes in the right place. But I'm going to actually show you a different technique where you can still mirror if you haven't got those planes in the right place. And to do that, I'm going to go on to this next product. And you might recognise this. Okay, so that's the sort of finished model. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come back over here and get that. So I've got one, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to mirror that bracket along an axis. That'll allow that to be created on the other side. And it's a bit confusing because I've got all those numbers on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the visibility of that off. And here I go visibility, and that switches it off. Alternatively, you can hit the F10 button on your keyboard, and that will switch them off as well. So I'm going to mirror this to create this shape. So what I need to do in this case is I need to put what's called a work plane at a set distance away from this face. So nice and simple, nice and easy. I come up to work plane, which is a different lesson altogether, but this is just really for the benefit of mirroring planes. So I select that one, I hover over that face, now I hold my left click down and I drag away. Alright, now as you can see, there's a little dialog box there. Now the dimension that I need between the two faces is 25mm. So my mirror line is going to be half of that 25. So if you've got another product and you want 50mm between faces, then obviously you can adjust that size accordingly. So I'm going to click OK there. So now what this gives me is my mirror plane. So back up, same as we did before, we're going to go mirror, I'm going to select that, and I can select all of these at the same time. Alright, now if you miss one or two, don't worry, you can always go back in later and add them. If you end up with a couple of mirrors, it's not the end of the world. So I've selected all of those things. In fact, I've not selected the fillets there, so there we go. And then I select mirror plane, and then on there, OK it, and there we go. We can see we've got our bracket now. Now, when you come to assemble anything on here, you can always go back in, switch that work plane off, and away we go. Okay, so a few things there. We've got an example where we've created holes along those central axes that are symmetrical to the work planes we've already got in there, and then we've got this other example where we've created the work plane and then mirrored the things off that. So hopefully that will come in handy, and as always, if you get stuck, you need any help, give me a shout. Nice one. Speak to you soon. Bye.